After the SEC's failed attempt to go after the Ethereum Foundation, they are now going after Consensys with an aim to expand their crypto jurisdiction through that Consensys lawsuit. So we're going to talk about that today. Welcome back to the Block Ash Podcast channel. Stick through this video. We're going to go through it, give you my thoughts at the end as always, do a quick synopsis. So the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has filed a lawsuit against Consensys alleging that its MetaMask swap service made it an unregistered broker. This lawsuit from the SEC comes after the Consensys lawsuit against the SEC in April. MetaMask Swaps is a platform that helps facilitate trades on various cryptocurrency assets by aggregating quotes from different decentralized exchanges and market makers. It enables the user to easily select the best price in exchange for a small fee paid to Consensys. And the complaint alleges that Consensys, though the swaps platform has collected fees worth over $250 million. It also claims that some of these liquidity providers may share a portion of the fees it charges investors. According to the complaint, Consensys exercises further discretion over which crypto assets it makes available. It highlights that Consensys maintains a token restriction policy that details assets that it doesn't enable trades in. Furthermore, the SEC lists a series of assets it considers securities that swaps helps enable trades in. These include Matic, AMP, AXS, BNB, Cody, DDX, FlowHex, Nexo, OMG, Sand, Luna, etc., etc. The complaint also alleges that Consensys Metamask staking platforms sold unregistered securities in the form of tokens for Lido and Rocket Pool. These so-called liquid staking tokens enable users to gain access to staking rewards without directly participating in validation. The complaint claims that these schemes represent investment contracts. Whether or not that is the actual case is a very good question, but the SEC has been failing left and right with trying to make this argument. And the problem here when it comes to MetaMask is it is more of a DeFi product than it is something that's centralized. So going after MetaMask really isn't going to have much of an effect, but they can certainly try and go after Consensys. And it just kind of comes down to a fundamental thing. Is it the tokens themselves their issue because they act like a security or could be construed as a security, or is it the method of swapping them themselves and staking in the way that you can earn, and maybe through airdrops and through yield farming? That's another question. Could those be considered securities in some kind of aspect? There's a lot that's on the table that we really need to dive into at some point. And we've kind of fleshed a lot of this stuff out for Bitcoin. We've done that for Ethereum quite a bit, and some other large caps. But crypto is a very big space with a lot of different tokens, and there's no real consensus on what we should be doing. So it makes it really hard to look at a lawsuit like this and say, does the SEC have any justification, or is it something to completely toss out when in complete honesty and transparency, I think a lot of these tokens might actually constitute securities. It just depends on, their actions and what they're doing. But at the same time, another large portion of these tokens should constitute their own asset class because of the way that you can use them, because of the way that you can move those assets, hold them, swap them, interact with them. It's not just a financial investment. Some of them aren't even a financial investment. A lot of them are more utility based. So I think, it's really itching to have a classification of its own at some point, separate from property, separate from securities, separate from, any other asset classification out there. Crypto needs its own, I think, sector, and we need to have maybe its own agency at some point, separate than the SEC or the CFTC. I think that's the only way we really clear this up and create some guidelines, because the problem with crypto is it's a hybrid asset. It can do multiple different things all at the same time. Because while there's a lot of differences between most tokens and cryptos compared to Bitcoin, there's also too many similarities. So we'll see how that pans out over time. Just another SEC lawsuit. I don't think they'll get that far with it, but they're trying to find something that'll stick on the wall here. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.